The air in Paris was electric on this recent Saturday at Roland Garros. The famous clay courts were ready for a huge match. It was the women's final, a moment every tennis player dreams about. On one side of the net stood Coco Gauff, the young American star. She had been playing with so much power and confidence. On the other side was Aryna Sabalenka, a fierce competitor known for her incredibly strong shots. Everyone watching knew this would be a special final. The crowd was full of excitement, waiting to see which of these amazing athletes would lift the coveted Coupe Suzanne Lenglen. This wasn't just another match, it was for a Grand Slam title, a piece of tennis history. The match itself was a battle of wills, a true display of strength and strategy. Gauff moved around the court with amazing speed, her defense turning into powerful offense in the blink of an eye. Sabalenka answered with her signature ground strokes, hitting the ball with thunderous force. Each point felt important, each game a small victory in a larger war. The fans were on the edge of their seats, cheering for every incredible shot. It was a classic contest between Gauff's clever athletic play and Sabalenka's raw, overwhelming power. For 2 sets, they fought hard, but in the end, it was Coco Gauff who stood tall as the winner. Winning a Grand Slam is the biggest prize in tennis. For Coco Gauff, this victory in Paris was another step in her incredible journey. She showed the world her strength, not just in her arms and legs, but in her mind. She played with a calm focus that was amazing to see. For Aryna Sabalenka, it was a tough moment. Losing a final is one of the hardest things for a professional athlete. You get so close to your dream, only to see it slip away. It's a moment of deep disappointment, and it tests your spirit just as much as the match itself tested your skill on the court. After the handshake at the net, the different feelings were clear to see. Gauff was full of joy, celebrating with her team and soaking in the applause from the thousands of fans who had just witnessed her historic win. Sabalenka, meanwhile, had to face the difficult task of accepting the runner-up trophy. It's a moment that requires great strength of character. These finals are about more than just hitting a tennis ball. They are about dreams, hard work, and the very different emotions of victory and defeat. The story of this final didn't end when the last ball was hit. It continued in the words they shared afterward. In the press conference after the match, Aryna Sabalenka was honest about her feelings. Losing a Grand Slam final is painful, and she didn't hide her disappointment. She spoke about the match and what went wrong, but then she said something that caught everyone's attention. She mentioned the other top player in the world, Iga Swiatek. Sabalenka said she actually wished she had lost to Swiatek instead of Gauff. This was a surprising comment. Usually players focus on their own performance, but Sabalenka was thinking about the rankings and the rivalries at the very top of the sport. Her reasoning was about the pain of the loss. Sabalenka explained that losing to Iga Swiatek, who has been #1 for a long time and is a clay court specialist, would have felt different. In her mind, Swiatek is the queen of clay, the ultimate challenge on this surface. So, a loss to her would almost be more expected, maybe a little easier to accept. She felt that losing to Gauff hurt more, perhaps because their rivalry is newer, and she saw this as a big chance to win another major. It was a raw and honest look into the mind of a competitor moments after a tough defeat. This comment shows how much players think about their opponents. It's not just about winning, it's also about who you play against. For Sabalenka, the story of the match was connected to the bigger picture of the women's tour. Iga Swiatek has been a dominant force, and losing to her has become a common story for many players on clay. Sabalenka's words suggested that falling to the established final boss is one thing, but losing to a different rival in a major final brings a unique kind of sting. It changes the narrative and the power dynamics at the top of the game. It is important to understand that these comments come from a place of deep emotion. No athlete likes to lose, especially on such a big stage. Sabalenka's words were not meant to be disrespectful to Gauff. They were a window into her own competitive heart. She was processing the loss in real time, thinking out loud about the what-ifs. This honesty is rare, and it gives fans a better understanding of the immense pressure these players are under. Her wishing for a different opponent was her way of trying to make sense of a very difficult professional moment. When Coco Gauff heard about Aryna Sabalenka's comments, she had a very different point of view. She responded with the confidence of a champion. Gauff said that she understood Sabalenka's feelings of disappointment, but her own mindset was the complete opposite. Gauff declared that she wanted to play Sabalenka in the final. She wasn't afraid of the challenge. In fact, she welcomed it. This response showed everyone the strong belief Gauff has in herself. She wasn't looking for an easier path or a different opponent. She was ready to face one of her biggest rivals on the biggest stage. Gauff explained her thinking clearly. She said that to be the best, you have to beat the best. She knew Sabalenka was playing incredible tennis and was a major threat. Instead of hoping to avoid her, Gauff saw a match against Sabalenka as the ultimate test. Winning the title by beating such a strong competitor would make the victory even more meaningful. This is the mindset of a true champion. It's not about finding the easy way out, it's about facing the toughest challenges head-on and proving you are worthy of the top spot. It was a powerful statement of self-belief. This mindset was not new for Gauff. Before the final, she spoke about her motivation. She felt she was playing some of the best tennis of her life. She believed in her strategy and her ability to win, no matter who was on the other side of the net. This belief is something she has built over time, through big wins and tough losses. Gauff has learned that her mental game is just as important as her physical game. She walked onto the court for the Roland Garros final not hoping to win, but believing she would win. That made all the difference in the critical moments of the match. Her recent history with both Sabalenka and Swiatek adds context to her confidence. While she has had difficult matches against Swiatek, especially on clay, her record against Sabalenka has been improving dramatically. This latest victory marked her second straight win over Sabalenka in a Grand Slam final, after also beating her at the US Open. This success proves that Gauff has figured out a winning formula against one of the most powerful players in the world. She knew she had the tools to win, and she used them perfectly when it mattered most. This victory does more than just give Coco Gauff another Grand Slam trophy. It redefines her rivalry with Aryna Sabalenka. For a long time, Sabalenka's power gave her an edge. But now, the tables have turned. Gauff has won their last two major finals, showing that her mix of defense, speed, and strategic thinking is a perfect answer to Sabalenka's power. This shifts the dynamic between them. Now, whenever they play, Gauff will have the mental advantage of knowing she has beaten Sabalenka when the stakes are highest. A rivalry is not just about who hits the ball harder, it's about who holds that mental edge. The head-to-head record between these two great players tells an interesting story. While Sabalenka had success early in their rivalry, Gauff has now won the most important matches. This shows her growth as a player. She has learned from past losses and developed a game plan that works. It proves that in tennis, you are always evolving. Gauff's ability to solve the puzzle of Sabalenka's game is a testament to her hard work and her tennis intelligence. She has shown that she can adapt and overcome even the toughest of challenges, which is the mark of a future legend of the sport. Ultimately, this story from the Roland Garros final teaches us a powerful lesson about sports and life. Believing in yourself is the most important weapon you have. Sabalenka's honest wish for a different opponent and Gauff's confident desire to face her rival show two different mindsets after a grueling competition. Both are valid, but it was Gauff's unwavering self-belief that helped carry her to the title. She embraced the challenge, trusted her skills, and came out on top. It's a reminder that your attitude can often determine your altitude. In the world of professional sports, anything can happen on any given day. A player who is the underdog can rise to the occasion, and a favorite can fall. What this final showed us is that the battles are won and lost, not just with forehands and backhands, but in the heart and mind. Coco Gauff's victory was a triumph of skill, but it was also a triumph of belief. She wanted the toughest test, and she passed it with flying colors, proving to the world and, most importantly, to herself that she is right where she belongs, at the very top of the game.